service delivery strategy tied to the local option sales tax that stated that we were going to fund that $120,000.
What was the dollar amount that they say that we?
It shorts of about $450 a month, something like that.
If we do 2.5%, that's what we agreed to do.
I mean, we.
But is that a lost? We agreed that 140 have a lost. Is that,
It's through the service delivery strategy that we have to define how our services are going to be defined. And when they took over animal control and corporate limits, we signed a resolution, we amended the service delivery strategy through Department of Community Affairs with the state of Georgia saying that this is the level that we were going to fund at.
And we did agree to do that.
We did agree in 2011 to doing that. But we cut all appropriations 2.5%. So if we amend and go back with our amended service delivery strategy, amend our budget, then we go back to the full appropriation, which was around $11,708 a month, and now it's $11,300 and some odd dollars a month.
Mr. Manager, let me ask you this, if you had the time to sit down and go over some of the recreation department stuff that's needed in some of these parks, the equipment upgrades and what have you needs to be done, I think if you sit down and kind of go over those numbers and see what that's going to cost in the future, and when we have another joint meeting, let's go back and sit down with them about how that's going to be paid for, and maybe we can come to an agreement to get some value from it, because I know there's going to be some equipment that has to be upgraded. So whether they get their money back in the 140 or whether they want to put it out up front for their other equipment that's located on the city parks, we need to talk about that, I think, a little bit. Do you agree or not disagree?
Well, at our next meeting that we're scheduled to have here is going to be May the 12th.
Yeah.
If everybody on our joint committee that assigned our joint committee, our joint committee stays the same, then May the 12th.
Well, I got you. And here's the thing about it. They want to be one community. Let's put it to the test.
All right, and
Let's
then
find out if that's going to be their position.
In the meantime, the Humane Society appropriations, you got to decide if you're going to leave it at the 2% reduction.
I think that we agreed to do it. I think we need to pay it. But I also think that
To amend it, to give the 2.5% back.
we agreed to pay it.
we agreed to pay 140,
That's
whenever the
what we
lost
We agreed
negotiations was
to
done.
pay it. And, you know,
So you'd have to amend the budget.
at this point, I don't want to, I don't want us losing,
And we need the animal control.
we need to.
Man,
So I think that we restore that money, and we'll go back and amend it.
Amend it.
But we also need to but before all that takes place, we need to have our discussion on the May 12th meeting about, and if you could come up with some numbers, Paul, that we can sit down and talk about.
it's at 10 o'clock.
All the renovation on the equipment they're talking about on the recreational part, that was not a part of our original service delivery package, so that's.
I think Commissioner Turner's talking about some of the stuff they've asked us to buy.
Yeah, upgraded.
What requested, I mean, we didn't,
Yeah, I mean,
wasn't there in the beginning.
yeah, we need to get, since we have sort of oversight of the park.
If it wasn't in the original, what we
Yeah.
agreed to
Yeah,
provide, it certainly has to be discussed.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
That work?
and also September the 8th and December the 1st, if everybody's okay with those proposed meeting dates, that was put back before the commission for our joint committee members and myself to meet. Two of them include the state legislators. That's the 12th and December 1st. The other one is September the 8th.
You okay with that, Commissioner?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Dave? Okay. All right, land bank. This was another thing that the city asked us about, the land bank. To the joint committee members. They seem to think that that's something that we need to get involved in.
I think if we're supposed to have some presentations done, supposed to get a lot more information than we have before us now. All the pluses and minuses, the track record of the program from around the state before we ever delve into it. And that's supposed to be presented to us as isn't that what we talked about?
Inviting DCA to present the land bank successes and failures to what would not only be the joint committee meeting members, but to 2 full boards. If we want to do that, we would invite in DCA and also the school board to look at it, because everybody has to sign off on it in order to get it back on the tax rolls. They have to agree to abate it.
And I've heard I've heard more against than for as far as the land bank itself goes. But until we actually see what the study showed, you know, what the costs, you know, we need to, before we take action.
Okay. We will discuss that at our we get more information, get these DCA to come and be part of it.
Yep.
For your review is the financial statement for 2015. How many
Yeah,
pages?
Well, probably 140.
A lot of pages.
But you will, everybody will receive a bound copy too, not just an electronic copy. But
Really?
we had been held up for quite some time because of the component unit, but now this is the qualified financial statement closing this year. So you've got an electronic copy and you will get a bound copy also.
Today.
Well, I always have a hard time, sometimes it comes in on the computer and I can't lock it, can't get it locked where you read it, because you flip it, you know, and it just keeps flipping. So anyway, I don't know if that's somebody's joke or what. But
You wouldn't think
Well,
I'd do
print it.
anything like that, do you?
I'm like this.
Buckshot. Give you the
And
buckshot statement.
I'm having to figure out how to lock the thing, knowing I'm really a high-tech guy, you know.
Well, like I said, and if the commission, you know, after review wants the auditor's opinion or anybody to come independently give you an opinion besides me or Mr. Tillman or whatever, but we closed the door on another year and we're baby steps climbing.
So they signed off on it.
Yes, sir. And all your opinion letters and all are in here, and fiduciary funds.
Okay, good.
We've got, all key components covered, and we're on the good list with the state.
Okay.
And we're debt free.
Have been quite
All right.
some time. Any questions on that?
Questions?
When will it be presented, Bob?
At your request, it can be presented at our next meeting or whatever. If you want the independent analysis from the auditor,
Not
if
necessarily.
you want it from Harrison or myself, but the bound copy should probably be ready by the end of next week. But we've just got a qualified audit like that last Friday.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, it's
We
kind
were
of
held
fine
out
print
because of
on
the
this
public
iPad.
health department.
You can read it, but it's
Right.
Thanks, what now?
Because of a component unit, we would have had our audit in plenty of time, but a component unit had not been audited, therefore they couldn't render their opinion on the component unit, who was the Department of Public Health, because the state was saying something to me about I was on the bad list, and I said, I know I'm on the bad list because of the state agency. Now, what did you go do on your side to help the poor local man?
Right. Did it same, our auditors do their audit or someone?
No,
do
sir,
their
they
audit?
can't. That's a no-no.
Okay, so their auditors clear. Good. Good.
State agencies are normally audited, either contracted out or done by the state auditors, so. But anyway, we're back on the good list, so they can turn loose our LMIG dollars. That was one of the things to get this second round of LMIG for Harris Road and the letting of that. My understanding is we'll be getting a check for that.
That'll be a major improvement for that route.
Yes, sir.
Just a little higher.
One question about, and it's not about, it is, remember we discussed last week, that Edwin Eden, two runs out there, name this little bit. Whatever reads. Are we back on track on this?
I wouldn't say we're back on track, but we're tracking toward it.
Still got that issue with Satilla, Williamson.
But we're working through it as we speak, and we'll either get.
Is there a foreseeable time?
Well, I've got the surveys in my office, and I've actually got all the utilities identified, and with the conclusion of this issue, it's going to dramatically affect how we approach the next one, or the next two.
Well, what's the foreseeable timeline on completing this two?
Well, the CDBG's a lot further out than the Leaded Woodell. When we conclude what's going on with utilities, then Woodell, we have the survey and all done, so it will just be securing the funding and then letting. But like the next 4 or 5 months of appropriations for SPLOST is spent. You think about, we've got this $1.4 million project. We've got 3 dump trucks ordered. We've got 6 vehicles ordered. So for the next 4 or 5 months, our appropriations are going to wash. So
It's not going to happen in this year.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't state it that way, but there's a reasonable chance that we'll have it contracted and let, as long as we get reasonable bids.
Well,
That's more
let's
than
stay
that.
after.
Now, the
So at least when I
CDBG,
go out,
no,
I can
because
say
it's got a lot more
contracted.
contracts.
Because they've been waiting a long time.
You're right.
We put them off and put them off. It's time.
You're right.
Time to do it. And I keep telling them folks, we're still on track.
We said track.
Making me get my head chopped off.
Well, don't kick me, but you didn't requalify, did you? You got off the mark. I mean, you ought to do it yourself.
Other than the fact that I live with those folks.
I did. You sounded almost like you're going to get somebody in
so
the
you're
term.
saying,
Oh,
see him
my
or
goodness,
her?
made it through almost 7.5 years. All but 7.5.
I told you, I missed the qualifying deadline, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll try to help you get it contracted before you leave.
That'd be nice.
Well, they can still talk bad about you even after you leave.
You know, we might try to reopen qualifying there.
Hey, well, we may have somebody in the audience that's going to get that one.
What else you got, Mr. Manager, on your side?
Well, we've got the roads to talk about for the letting of the striping, signs, edge lines, speed limit signs, all thermoplastic, recommendation of Public Works, and several people have called him. Obviously, we field calls up here, but his recommendations are Maynard Millwood Road from 84 to 82, 13.5 miles. We should have all that resurfaced by then, and then they come in and put thermo and signs as a final coat. Jamestown Road is 12 miles. Now, that would be a project that we probably need to try to get done before 17 if we can. Pebble Hill Road from US 1 business to the Jamestown Road, which is 3.26 miles. The Tailmore Road from US 1 business to Georgia 158, which is 7 miles. And Knight Avenue from City Boulevard to Whitehall Church Road at 2.21 miles.
How about the Swamp Road that we all agreed to here?
Well, the Swamp Road, I've got some calls in.
It needs it bad, you can't even see them. You can't even see them.
We've tried to get the contractor under the 2015 LMIG to take it on as a project. And they have delved in and out of doing it. And
The state,
no,
so it's not,
the
oh,
contractor
the contract, okay.
for the 2015 LMIG. And just adding it to that is probably 20 miles of road, so it would actually be 80 miles if you do 4 lines. And somewhere in that area, some of it would be skipped instead of done solid. But they have not wanted to tackle it, but I'm gonna talk to them last time. If not, we're gonna try to couple it up and add it to this project if their striping contractor will do it. I really need to look at the numbers to see who I really want to do it. We may just close that. I haven't looked at it that close.
Of course, we got some elderly people that lives out there that has a problem with driving on that road. They've called me about it. Of course, I brought it to this board's attention, you know, we approved it, that's, you know,
Yes.
we work in the board.
It has been approved, and we jumped around on it 2 or 3 and looked at it 2 or 3 different ways, but the contractor has not technically agreed to go ahead and do it. In fact, I've got a couple of calls on my phone, and it may be that. I think we talked one Friday. Facilities did about doing some other striping for us, so we may wind up doing that.
Madam Attorney?
I have anything.
Okay. All right. I have a motion to adjourn this work session.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the work session.
Okay.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor, by saying aye. Aye. We adjourn the 5 o'clock?